All right, so this is the third of 3 videos, and we just have a couple more examples to go over. And so this is same but different. So I wanted to go ahead and do this one with you. So we want to go ahead and solve for this triangle. So I want to find big A, big B, and big C. And then I want to find little a, little b, and little c. Okay, well the difference here is I have all the sides. So 12 is A, B is 27, and C is 20. Okay, now I don't have any angles. Okay, I'm still going to use my law of cosines because notice I don't have an angle side pair, but I have to solve for an angle. So I'm still going to plug it into the same formula. Just the way I solve it is going to be a little bit different. Not really, we're still following algebra, but it just has a little different look to it. And it doesn't matter which one you want to solve for first. I'm just going to go ahead and do A because it's first. And so the only of the 3 formulas, here, that has a big A in it is this one right here. Okay, so A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC times cosine of big A. And when I plug that in, I get 12 squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC times the cosine of A. All right, so 12 squared is 144 equals, I'm going to go ahead and add these, so 27 squared plus 20 squared gives me 1129 minus 2 times 27 times 20 gives me 1080 cosine of A. Okay, so just like normal algebra, since this is a coefficient of cosine of A, think of this as like a 1080x. We can't connect these two. We can't subtract these. So I'm going to subtract 1129 from both sides. So 144 minus 1129 gives me negative 985 equals negative 1080 cosine of A. Okay, now I'm multiplying negative 1080 times the cosine of A. So I'm going to divide negative 1080, divide by negative 1080. Okay, and a negative divided by negative is a positive, so 985 divided by, I get 0.912, that's rounded, equals cosine of A. All right, well now I know the value of my cosine. I want to find the value of A, so I'm going to use cosine inverse, and when I do, I flip these two. So cosine inverse of 0.912 is going to equal A. So cosine inverse 0.912, that gives me big A is roughly 24.2, and we are in degree mode, so that would be degrees. Okay, so now I have my angle side pair. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and solve angle B and angle C on your own now. All right, so I did A over sine of A equals C over sine of C. Typically, you want to do the smaller angles first, the acute angles first. And so when I do that, I just plug stuff in, I cross multiply, and I end up down here using inverse sine to find angle C. And the angle measure of C is 43.1 degrees. Okay, now after I get the 43.1 degrees, I already have the 24.2, and I know all 3 of these have to add up to 180, so angle B is fairly simple to find. All right, let's do this final word problem, and then we'll be done with this section. I know it's a lot, but it's just formulas and plugging stuff in and then doing algebra after that. So hopefully it's a lot, but hopefully it's not difficult. I know it's time consuming, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, so an organism's step angle is a measure of walking efficiency. The closer the step angle is to 180, the more efficiently the organism walked. The diagram shows a set of footprints for a dinosaur. Find the step angle B. Okay, so we want to find angle B right here. We don't have to solve the whole triangle. We want to solve angle B. So I want you to go ahead, use this diagram to find angle B, and use this as an example because this is pretty much the same thing except a lot less work here because we don't have to find all three angles. So go ahead and find angle B. All right, so when we do this, we're going to use this equation because that's the only equation we have that even has angle B in it. Okay, so I'm just going to plug in what I know. So 316 squared equals 155 squared plus 197 squared minus 2 times 155 times 197 times the cosine of B. Okay, when I add these together, I get 62834. So I'm going to subtract that from both sides. And then I'm going to divide the negative 61070. Don't forget there is a negative. You can take the cosine inverse of a negative number. That's perfectly okay. Okay, so when we do, you should have gotten B is roughly 127.3 degrees.